Good morning, everybody. Good morning, 305. How are you, beautiful? Good morning. Good morning. Got, a lot of news for you all this morning. Hey, Russ. Good morning, handsome. Y'all see how Gavin is getting the medal and Trump would be so upset crying back there. Hold up. I want to show it. Hold up. I'm going to put up this other one because I think this is even better. Look at that. Look at Gavin looking so presidential. Hey, Katie. Good morning. Good morning, Brigitte. Good morning. Look at Gavin looking so presidential. Hey, Sasha. Good morning. Hey, Tracy. Good morning. Hey, Dude. Good morning. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Fire King. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm going to do some more videos today about groceries and cheap meals. Because people have been contacting me like, hey, I need a little assistance on that. Hey, we're all in this together. Hey, Tracy, good morning. Good morning, John. Good morning. Hey, Kendra, good morning, beautiful. Thank you for all of the shares. I appreciate that. And if you guys could tap that like button for me this morning, and with the share, copy link counts as a share. You don't even have to send it to anybody. Hey, Dale, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, John, good morning. Chris, good morning. Living life, hey, beautiful, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I wanted to let you guys know before we get started on talking about all of our stuff this morning that the poll for the movie discussion closed yesterday, right? Poll for the movie discussion closed yesterday. We now have a 3-way tie between They Live, Run, and Straw. I'm gonna put up a new post this morning, giving us, so that we can make a decision based upon the last 3 videos that were for the 3-way tie. I'm gonna only give like 2 days for that. So by Friday, I would say we would have a final item. So I'll let you know. You finally downloaded Patreon. Listen, Patreon is fun, dude. You can actually say shit over there. Over here, you can say some stuff, but you can't say everything. Like TikTok used to be different. But your TikTok is changing because your government is more entrenched in your social media. Why is your government more entrenched in your social media? Because you're learning too much. You're learning too much. And in all this learning, it causes you to be resistant. It causes you to have a voice to speak back against things or to push back against things that don't work for your life, that don't help you. They don't like that. Rich and powerful people want you to be indignant. They want you to be ignorant. They want you to double down and lean into that ignorance because they know that shit's going to keep you poor. They know that. So they love for you to get caught up in tribalism and stuff like that. Because when you get caught up in tribalism, you don't even realize that you lose. The only people that win are the rich and powerful people that pull the strings. Thank you for reminding me, dude. Yes, Trump is in the Epstein files. I knew that, yeah. And we still don't have those files, just so y'all know. We still don't have the files. I love this picture too. Lori put it on Patreon in the chat room. I told y'all we have a lot of discussions and fun in that in the chat room, in Patreon in general. But in that chat room, we have a ball. Okay? Because that's a lot of the stuff. There's other things in there I could never post here. Because I just know TikTok would be like, you can't post that. You can't have no fun over here no more. TikTok used to be the spot to have a lot of fun, but unfortunately, that isn't the case anymore. It's still a cool place to hang out, but it's not as fun as it was before. So, but hold on. I just want y'all to know that the poll is going to end on Friday. Look, I'm trying to check the time. Come on. Yeah, to make sure so I'll be putting this up while we're here in the live. Also to remind you all, the lives from yesterday morning and evening are also on YouTube. I put them up yesterday. Oh, Republicans hate critical thinking. Now, y'all see, speaking of critical thinking, let's segue on to something. Now, y'all see how Trump is talking about the Smithsonian museums. And he's saying the museums are out of control. Hey, C. Mandy, my leg is doing a lot better. I saw my doc yesterday. She told me to just continue to keep taking the stuff that she prescribed to me and keep an eye on it, but it's healing properly and continuing to go in the right direction. I'm telling y'all, he bit me like he was eating a can of sardines. Mr. Wick went in. He went in. You understand? He went in. So Trump says yesterday, hey, Two Pitty Mom, good morning. Hey, Kim, good morning. So Trump says he's going to fix these Smithsonian museums because they're too woke. What did I tell y'all? Woke is keyword for educated, knowing, understanding. People can't be so quick to run a game on you because you understand, you know things. Why would your government want you to not know things so they can take advantage of you? It's empathy too, but it's also to take advantage of you. Because understand, if I can change the history of a certain subset of people in America, well, I can change everybody's history. I can change the history of women in America. I can change the history of immigration. I can change the history of white folk. I can change the history of anything. It can be whatever I say it is. And again, I look at all of that. That shit is racism. That is racism. And this is why I would have no tolerance. Like if I had an engagement with you, meaning some type of connection or conversation with you in real life. I ain't talking about on message boards and shit like that. I'm talking about like I sat at a table with you or been in a room with you. And you tell me, well, I don't really focus on racism because I had nothing to do with it. I don't even talk to you. We're done talking. I just will literally walk away and not deal with you. Because you're helping to maintain the system. Because as long as you benefit from the system, well, it's not a problem. It's like most Trumpers. It's not a problem until then. You know, it's not a problem until it happens to them. Like all these Trumpers, some of them are getting upset at Trump. They're only upset because the shit is starting to impact them. Fuck them. I don't care. I don't care. You know, I really don't care about that. And the saddest part is, I look at a lot of white America who is suffering in poverty. They've been poor for generations. I'm talking like every generation of their family since it's been on American soil has been poor. You know what I'm saying? Every generation. And you know that anger and that hatred that comes with that. Thank you, my dog is Charlie. I was getting them at the same time. I just wasn't saying nothing. That's actually the second one. I caught the first one too. What they say? You already know. We don't play that over here. Not over here. They upset because Trump is in the Diddler costume. The body is accurate. What you mad about? Hell, he's even in dress shoes. I'm like, come on. What more do you need? What more do you need? That one was so good, Lori. I had to remember to get that one this morning to throw up here. That one was so good. But Trump now wants to change the museums. And he only wants to change the museums because, again, it's about uplifting the mediocrity and changing the narrative. And, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story. Hey, Monica, good morning. I remember, hold on, I was booting somebody else. Because they thought because they sent a black man in here with an account that I was going to fall for. I'm not going to fall for that, beloved. Black men don't even ask questions like that. So I wouldn't even respond to that. You know what I'm saying? Black men don't give a fuck about intel. As no black man has ever approached me to ask a question like that. So as soon as I saw it, I knew it was bullshit. So I blocked them. I didn't even mention it. Admin, I didn't even mention it to you because I knew what that was. And I wasn't going to even give him any room to talk. So I blocked him too. Hey, good morning, BRLicious. No problem. You need to get your sleep, beautiful. You need to get your sleep. And thank you, admin. You caught a couple I didn't even catch. But yeah, I don't know why they think they can come in and have those discussions. So I was about to tell y'all a story about something and they threw me off. What was I about to talk about? Okay, I know what it was because I was talking about Smithsonian stuff. So when I was growing up, I was born in the 70s, right? And in the 70s and 80s, they were still teaching in schools. They would teach about black people, but it was only about a couple of black people. Mary McLeod Bethune, Madam C.J. Walker, um, uh, um, Martin Luther King. They taught a little bit about Marcus Garvey, but I think they did that because most white people really didn't understand Marcus Garvey. And when they started to learn more, they stopped teaching about Marcus Garvey. They talk about Booker T. Washington, Harriet Tubman. It was like a handful of fucking black people. And white people created everything outside of these handful of black folk that did a little bit of stuff. That's how it was presented when I was a child. It was presented like white people made black people civilized. And if it wasn't for white people, we would still be in jungle square, not knowing how to read, not knowing how to function. And it was white people who gave us civilization. I'm telling you, this is what was taught when I was a child. And as we got to the late 80s, early 90s, education started to change. They started to get more honest about education. I remember in elementary school still learning about the settlers and Native Americans and them presenting it as it was kumbaya, right? We got taught that bullshit. We got taught that these people found a country that was already there with people that already lived there. I know that's what I was taught. I was taught that. Hey, MC Apri, how are you? Good morning, handsome. Look, I ain't even been over on my other account enough. I gotta get it together. I did post yesterday. It was raggedy. It was about McDonald's, but I was upset about that sandwich. But when I was growing up, history was extremely whitewashed. Very whitewashed. And they wanted your black ass to feel like you really didn't have any real contributions to society. Your ancestors had no real contributions to society. Yep, Kiki. And growing up, when they would teach you about things about the settlers and Christopher Columbus, they made it seem like that, Native Americans and the settlers, they were best friends and everybody got along. And it was just this beautiful thing. Everybody sat and had food. No one talked about the disease and stuff that the settlers brought with them, how dirty they were, how they tried to dominate and conquer and destroy Native Americans. They didn't tell the children that. I know, I'm telling you, they didn't tell us that. They made that stuff seem like it was just all gravy and good. Yep, I didn't learn about Trail of Tears until high school, because by the time I got to high school, see, I was in a black school system with black teachers. So they sometimes taught things that were not on the curriculum because they were like, they don't want you to know this. So we're going to teach it to you anyway. And so they just taught it to us and we learned it. And I remember when I was in high school, I took a class called African American Studies. And my teacher, she was very big on bringing in special guests. I remember even then, this was I was class of 93. I think this was 1990 or 91. She brought in a special guest that talked with us about media and how the media tries to frame black people in media. That was then. Ain't really much changed between then and now, right? Ain't changed between then. Ain't much change between then and now. But she was showing us then. Okay? This was 91. All right? 91. And this was in DC public schools. So you know how you hear Trump talk all that shit and this, that, and the other? Another reason for him to come after DC, because they was woke as fuck. I learned a lot about my people and my history in DC public schools from black fucking teachers. Hispanic teachers. That's where I learned shit from. Yeah, Ronald, we run the same curriculum. We learned a lot of things because our teachers were not just teaching what was on the curriculum. Because, see, I was also in school during the Reagan administration. And my teachers were very clear about the fact that Ronald Reagan was not good for black people. They would point out the racism in his campaigns so you could see it. Oh, you from 757, not 753. Hey, I love the 757. I love to go down to the 757 in October, around Halloween time. That's the best time to go to the beach because you ain't got all them damn tourists. I love it. It's just really the locals. It's the best time to go to the 757 during Halloween because it's really locals hanging out more than anything. And ain't nothing, look, I love me some 757 for a multitude of reasons, but I am loving 757 right about now because Clips is all up in Drake's ass right now. But that's a whole nother story for another day. Did they tell you the bull that improvised children couldn't attend college? Yep, that was the bull that we were taught back then. We were taught that being black was kind of an afterthought. We were taught that if you had special needs, you were handicapped, disabled, had learning disabilities, essentially you would have no future. That's what it was back then. So many people have not lived in that reality that they think that the America they're in now has always been this America. That's not true. That ain't true. I remember watching television or movies, and if you ain't looking at black people stuff that black people created, you're going to see just stereotypes of black people. It's always going to be a stereotype because that's what they sold. Stereotypes for black people, stereotypes for Hispanics, stereotypes for Chinese people, Korean people. It didn't matter who you were. It was always going to be a damn stereotype. Always. And yes, Kim, and it still happens a lot today. But understand, all these old people that y'all done voted into power, they're just taking your country back to what they knew. That's where they're fucking comfortable. That's where they're comfortable. I'm not surprised that some black kids were put in learning disability classes. Listen, sometimes people were put in learning disability classes because they were smarter than their fucking teachers. I said what I said. Because they were smarter than their teachers, because their parents were educating them at home as well. And when they would come to school, they would challenge those fucking teachers. And those teachers didn't like to be challenged. So then those teachers would try to downgrade those students. That's where having active parents are involved. Because if you have active parents not having that shit. They're going to challenge you and call you out. Now, I'm going to keep it all the way a buck. I went to school in D.C., however, my white teachers, they were woke. They didn't toe the line. They didn't just want to just teach the bullshit. You understand? Not my teachers, because my teachers were educated. My white teachers also marched on front lines with a lot of my black teachers back in the day when they were fighting for civil rights. That's why they were teaching in black schools, because they knew what the system was. Wow, you got in trouble with your first grade teacher for saying George Washington had slaves, but you were telling the truth. You weren't lying. Your teacher just didn't want you to be honest and tell the truth, because then you start having uncomfortable conversations. Uncomfortable conversations. And guess what? Conservatives don't like uncomfortable conversations. Republicans don't like uncomfortable conversations. People who want to hide the truth don't like uncomfortable conversations. They just don't like it. Again, I always say if somebody is so exceptional, you don't have to lie about it. You don't have to lie about it. You said she put you in a slow readers group, even though I could read when I was 4. Wow, I can believe it. I can believe it, to slow your progress so that you don't continue to preach truth. Yep, they are so scared for their kids to know the truth about their own ancestors. And not just their ancestors. They don't want their children to know the truth about our ancestors. Anybody's ancestors that are non-white. They don't want you to know the truth about Hispanics. They don't want you to know the truth about Native Americans. They don't want you to know the truth about the Chinese, the Koreans, the Indians from India. They don't want you to know. The only truths they want you to know are the truths that they tell you. That's it. Anything else is too uncomfortable. Because now we got to start having uncomfortable conversations about shit that people don't want to have. Like when Republicans will say, well, listen, back in the day, we fought for black people and freedom. Yeah, but then Republicans turned, they used to be the old school Dixiecrats. They turned into Republicans. Republicans now are the old school Dixiecrats. Right? They flipped. They decided, we good on that. But since people don't want to learn history, they don't care. They just hang on to whatever they want to say. Oh man, Burke, you just mad you can't afford California. Get out. Y'all should see the trolls, honey. The trolls are crashing out because we got Paw Paw up here in his diddler outfit. They are crashing. You hear me? One of the reasons why white supremacy fights so hard for Trump is because they see themselves in Trump. They're mediocre. They ain't got shit to show for all the work that they've done. Real shit. They don't have hardly nothing to show for all the shit that they've done. Real talk. They barely have enough to show for what they've done. You had a 400-something year start, and you mean to tell me you still poor? How? How? I'm telling you, that's their biggest frustration with immigrants, black people, anybody that's non-white. That's why they really mad. That's why white supremacists get mad. It's like, wait a minute. How the fuck did they come into this country and get all this stuff? How the fuck did they come here and make all these things happen? And my family been here. Oh, yeah, see, man, the Daughters of the Confederacy ain't nothing but another wing of that white supremacy. It's just another wing of that white supremacy. And you're absolutely right, Monica. They want us to spend our time vilifying other people. I always tell the people, I say, listen, let me explain something to you. They say, are you for gay marriage? Yes, I am. Are you gay? No, I'm not. Well, why are you for it? Because it's not my fucking business. If two consenting adults love each other and they want to get married, that's their business. I am old enough to know that marriage is also a business arrangement. People get married to handle their business. So why the hell would I not want two people that are in love with one another, who are consenting adults, be able to handle their business? It's not my business. But the people who are so entrenched on stopping gay people from getting married, it's like, well, wait. Make it make sense. Most of the people who want to stop them they've been married multiple times. You don't give a shit about the sanctity of marriage because you keep doing it. If you cared about the sanctity of marriage, after you had the first fucked up marriage, you wouldn't get married again. But they don't. They keep doing it. Say it again, Kiera. Let gay people be as miserable as straight people. If marriage was so fucking great, you understand? You understand? But it's about hate. It's about they really ultimately don't want gay people to be able to handle the business of marriage. Because marriage is a business. It's also a business transaction. They know that. They don't like it, though. They don't like it. They don't want you to be able to handle your business. They want gay people to go back into the shadows. They want gay people to have to be like, oh, we just friends. Now, fuck all that. Because, see, y'all forgot about that. See, when you were growing up and you were kids, depending on how, I grew up, my mother was very clear about who was gay because she had gay friends. And no, we're not going to pretend that there's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with two consenting adults. Thank you. Hello. USYBAU too. Oh, look at you. Poor little Ching Ching. Him mad because he got put out. What they say? And another one. Oh, I had already got him. The merchandise is in the link in the bio. Catch it. Hey. They get so mad. They get so mad. See, I'm over here smelling like flowers and all scenty and smelling good. I don't smell like skin. Okay? And they get mad with me. Don't get mad with me, beloved. Don't get mad at me telling the truth about how your country miseducates you on purpose. See, that's one of the other reasons why a lot of Americans don't go out of the country to go get educated. Because if you did, you'd be fucking embarrassed. You'd go to those countries and realize your ass has been miseducated your entire fucking life. That's why people stay here. That's why people stay here, because they know once you get out into the world, you get exposed that you're mediocre. Not smelling like bologna. Hot bologna that's been in a car specifically. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. You're absolutely right, Cassie. They keep the blinders on. But see, I went to school when I was growing up, your teachers challenged you to think. Critical thinking was extremely important when I was growing up. Your teachers challenged you to think. These kids now, these parents now, they don't want the kids to be challenged to think. You know why? Because if the kids come home and ask the parent questions they can't answer, that's a problem. So you know what the parents say? Don't teach that no more. See, what y'all seeing is a new breed of parent who's not very educated either. Oh, even if they have a college degree, don't assume a college degree means educated. See, y'all got to understand, just because somebody went to school don't mean they know anything. It just meant they went to school. You understand? And don't assume because somebody has a degree that they know more than you. A degree just shows that you can finish something. Doesn't mean you actually learned any fucking thing. You understand where I'm coming from? Doesn't mean you learned anything. And there are a lot of people that went to college because that's the thing to do. That's the default thing to do, right? Go to college or trade school. In America, that's the default thing to do, right? But they don't know how to use a comma. They don't know proper use of a semicolon or colon. They couldn't even tell you the parts of a sentence. So they're not very educated. They just went to school. They just got a degree. You understand? See, we have a lot of people that get an education, but they're not very educated. Say it again, real one, or don't know how to spell. But you got the Chinese running circles around us, and we fighting culture wars. You got the Europeans running circles around us, but we doing culture wars. The Indians from India running circles around us, but we doing culture wars. The Africans, the continent of Africa, as far as education, oh, they educating their kids way better than our kids are getting here. Multiple languages. You're talking about children who speak multiple languages. In America, kids can barely speak fucking English. Barely speak English. Reading skills are horrible. Can't write well. Don't know how to research things. Don't know how to do critical thinking. This is America. And y'all want to run around and flex on the world? Flex on what? The world is looking at you like, go read a book. Are you serious? Are you serious? The world ain't taking us seriously. We're uneducated bullies. So why would anybody take an uneducated bully seriously? I know I wouldn't. And nobody else is either. Yep, in the 10th grade reading on a 6th grade reading level, but got on $300 tennis shoes. See, America's priorities are all fucked up. Y'all want to look the part, but not be the part. You know what I'm saying? You want to look like you got it, but not have it. That's okay. I don't give a fuck if I don't have it, as long as I look like I do. Make that shit make sense. Make it make sense. And you know why they pass the student on, Lori? I'm going to tell you why ultimately they pass all these kids on, even though they know they don't know nothing. Because America passes the children on anyway because it doesn't want to be honest that we're all fucked up. They don't want to be honest. So they just hide it and just move the babies along. Yep, and it would be an end to everything, but they move the babies along. Because the babies, even if the babies ain't educated, they still feed the system. They still feed the system. Say it again, we're one, indoctrination. They still feed the system. Either those children are going to end up in the prison system. They're going to end up in low-wage jobs. You understand? But they're going to end up somewhere. But the system, the school system is still feeding them to the respective locations. Right? And you got a small segment of kids that will actually make it. That's why I still say George Bush did not lie about No Child Left Behind. Because Republicans haven't left not one fucking child behind. They are taking all of them and racing right to the bottom. Right to the bottom. These kids don't know how to do mental math. Remember when we were kids? You had to show your scrap paper in math class, but there was also times you had to do the math in your head, and your teacher would not allow you to count on your fingers. You remember that? Hey, Tyra, good morning, beautiful. Y'all remember that? You were not allowed to count on your fingers. Yeah, or you had to use the abacus. But if your teacher caught you counting on your fingers, she would walk by and pop them with the ruler. Y'all couldn't have come up when we came up. Okay, Tony. Awesome. Thank you for coming. But y'all understand that. When we were coming up, you had to know how to do shit. If your teacher gave you a quiz on the parts of a sentence, your ass better know parts of a sentence. You better know parts of a sentence. And sometimes you had a test on it, or your teacher will call you up to the board and you had to what? Diagram a sentence. See, some of y'all forgot that we learned this stuff because it was just normal, right? We just did it. You know what a verb is. You know what a noun is. You know what an adjective is, a conjunction is. You just know. It's like water. It's like breathing. You just know. And you just assume that all kids are being taught that. No, they not. Yep, we learn context clues. You had tests on that shit. Pop quizzes on that. Kids now, man, I had to teach my children because they don't even teach this in school anymore. Yep, we had to write a sentence 100 times. That taught you good penmanship too. I still have Schoolhouse Rock move on because you can still buy old Schoolhouse Rock stuff. Yep, I remember conjunction, junction. What's your function? I remember. Stop playing with me. I remember us doing all that stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stop playing with me. We did all of that stuff. Education was a big fucking deal. To be stupid you wasn't bragging on being stupid and dumb. You bragged on being on the damn honor roll. You bragged on being on the honor roll. Even thugs was on the honor roll. What is y'all talking about? See, somewhere along the way, the shit changed. And don't say it's because parents were working too much. All of our parents were working too. But this is what all of us knew. That school better not call your mama or your daddy and have them come up there and come off of their paying job to deal with your fucking foolishness. Because you had one fucking job. And your job was to take your ass to school and fucking learn. And if you're in that class doing anything but learning, and your mama or your daddy got to come up there, it's going to be some furniture moving in that damn classroom. Guaranteed. Because when they got to leave their job, money was left. That meant you taking money out of the family's mouth. Food out the family mouth. Oh, there's a consequence for that shit. Because you had one job, to go to school and fucking learn. That's it. Hey, Maxwell, you know why you 55 and still go to school? Because we were also taught growing up to be lifelong learners. Were we not? We were taught if you wasn't learning, you wasn't growing. If you wasn't learning, you wasn't growing. And you're absolutely correct. They would embarrass you in front of the whole class. I still remember in 4th grade, I can still see it vividly in my mind like it happened yesterday. Matter of fact, it wasn't even 4th grade. I think it was 5th grade. No, it wasn't 5th grade. This was middle school. Because I still know this boy to this day. He a grown-ass man. But I still remember when his mama came up to the school in 6th grade because the teacher called. He had been cutting up in class. Hey, Clifton, look. He had been cutting up in class. And his mama came, and the teacher called his mama, and his mama came up there and tore his ass up in front of the entire class. We never forgot. He never cut up again in school, ever, because we also went to high school together. Bruh never got in no more trouble. He never got in no more trouble. Because, see, our parents would show up. They would show up. and dare the teacher to say something about them issuing that spanking. Because that parent had to leave their job to come to the school. Yep, the teacher could paddle you back then. There were different rules. There were different things. We had real homework. The teacher actually checked it. You had to bring in your scrap paper. You had to come up on the board and do things. You had to read out loud. Somewhere along the way, that stopped happening. And I'm telling you, it starts at home. It started with the parents. Everybody wants to blame the shitty school systems. I'm not saying that the school systems aren't bad, but the school systems are like that because of the parents. The parents didn't show up. The parents don't stay actively engaged and involved. And that's the problem. Some parents did. I was a parent that was around, but I'm telling you, I was an anomaly. Most parents were like, why the hell does this school keep calling me? It's your fucking kid, lady. What you mean? We didn't give birth to this dude or this little baby, this little girl here. This your child. That's why we keep calling you. Some parents now act like it's like school, like don't call me for nothing. You supposed to teach the child everything. That's not true. Your school don't have enough time to teach your child everything. Quiet as kept back when we were kids. School didn't teach us everything either. Now, I know I'm not the only one, but when it would rain and we couldn't go outside, even if we couldn't go outside, even if it wasn't raining, my mother used to make us read the fucking encyclopedia for fun. Stop playing with me. We had to read that shit. My mother was like, I done spent money to buy this fucking encyclopedia set. You're going to read every damn book that's in this fucking set, okay? Stop playing with me. Me and my brother were just sitting around reading the fucking... See, Rock was doing it too. I read the encyclopedia so much, I still remember the manufacturer's name. The manufacturer's name of the encyclopedia at the time was Funkin' Wagnall. I still fucking remember. I still remember. That was our idea of a good ass night. Stop playing with us. Me and my brother sitting in there geeking. Hey, did you read the one with the parts of the body? That's so cool. That's what we was doing. Man, I wish I still had those encyclopedias, Alicia. That's what we were doing. That was our idea of a good ass night. Or inventing something. Literally creating and inventing something. Why? Because our parents couldn't run out and buy everything we wanted. So sometimes you created it. You made it. I remember sitting outside in my front yard making mud pies and letting the sun bake them. Literally. I would sit outside, mix mud, and make freaking mud pies and bake them in the sun. And pretend I had a restaurant and do all... You had to use your imagination. Your parents weren't going to run out and just buy something every time you wanted it. You weren't allowed to watch television anytime you just wanted to. Your mama would say, she would turn it off and say, get your ass out from in front of this TV and go on outside and play. You couldn't just sit in the house all day and do nothing. And our parents worked 2-3 jobs. So I don't want to hear excuses from people talking about, oh, I'm working so much. Hell, our parents worked a lot too. I don't want to hear, oh, I had my child young. My mama had me when she was 16. My ass still went to school every fucking day. I still was on the honor roll. I still did my homework. I still was respectful. I still was taught to have manners and treat my elders with respect. The fact that my mother had me at 16 didn't mean shit. I still was raised with knowing how to behave. And my mother's goal was that my children are going to be better than me. Say it again, yo, it's Sean. Tree forts with any scrap wood. Man, oh, what a time to be alive. When I look back on my life at the time, because I was so poor, all you think about is the poverty when you're in it, right? Because we were seeing stuff on television, or you would see other kids that come to the school and you knew they had more money, so they would have things you didn't have. And you would envy the stuff. But you didn't understand you had everything you needed. You may didn't have everything you wanted, but you had everything you needed. And now all those skills you learned in poverty and growing up, that's the shit that's going to save your life and put you a step ahead of everybody else right now. Guaranteed. Watch. 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 You just watch. All these people, man, it's so interesting to watch the MAGA folks start complaining about groceries. Don't complain. You said they not high. You say it's not high. You're going to learn. Like my mama say, it's higher than giraffe pussy. You're going to learn. Okay? You are going to learn. It's rough out here. You know who's going to survive? Those of us who grew up poor and were taught to be resourceful. Because when we was growing up, we could run to my mother and say, it's nothing in there to eat. My mother say, it's stuff in there to cook. Go in there and create something. So you went in that kitchen like a mad scientist to doctor up a meal. But you ate. You got full. But your mama wasn't running to the store every time you didn't want that. See, a lot of this, parents, we got to take responsibility. When I say we, parents, if you're a parent with children, got to take responsibility of one of the reasons why the children act the way they do these days. It is the direct result of the parents. You raised them to be soft as fuck. You raised them to be soft, coddled. Yeah, ordering Uber Eats. I didn't do no delivery. Even when I did order carry out back in the day, I still walked to go get it. I walked to the carry out to pick it up. Heck, quiet as kept. I didn't even call it in before going to the carry out. We would walk to the carry out, place the order, wait for it in the carry out, get it when they call your name, and walk it back home. I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the way, Americans are like, nah, I'm too lazy for that. The fact that people order Wendy's and Uber Eats is crazy to me. To order a $5 fucking biggie bag for delivery. Man, get your lazy ass up. Get your lazy ass up. $5 biggie bag for delivery? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on. Listen, dude, I lived in the city. But I knew I could walk everywhere I want. I was born and raised in D.C. So anywhere I wanted to go, I could walk to it. We ain't had no money to be paying for no fucking delivery. What? We was too poor for that. So the fact that we had money to go to the carry out was already a nice, good flex. You understand? So we damn sure wasn't going to pay for delivery. We walked to the fucking carry out. Hey, mama son, give me 5 wings fried extra crispy with fried rice, an egg roll, plus you get a soda with it, all that for $3.25. Listen, stop playing with us. We wasn't going to pay for no damn delivery. We was trying to hang on to the rest of them coins. See, I don't know how y'all party with y'all friends, but when we was growing up, we put all our money in a kitty together. If one person got the car, all right, we going to help put gas in the tank. We're going to all make sure we eat. We're going to all make sure we can enjoy whatever the entertainment is that we're doing. If we go into the movies, we can all get in the movies. If we go into the club, we can all get in the club. You understand? To see these youngins now, oh, I had to leave my friend. That ain't how we party. That's not how we party. We would hold house parties. You understand? But we worked together to try to, I remember them little hugs, drinks. Yeah, we had real friends. We actually knew their telephone numbers. We knew their last names. It's so weird to me to see these young people. You got friends. You don't know their last name. You don't know where they live. You don't know who their parents are. You don't know nothing. That's not your friend, beloved. That's an acquaintance. You should know something about your friend. Real friends, you know about your real friend. Yes, you knew their parents. Like the back of you knew their parents. You knew their parents like you knew your parents. You understand? You had to be respectful when you went into those people's home, just like you had to respect your own parents' home. You couldn't carry on in somebody else's house. You had to treat their parents with respect too. When you came into somebody's house, you had to speak to their parents. Hello, Mr. Such and Such. Hello, Mrs. Such and Such. Man, I still remember my old phone number from back in the day, Zarvis. And they've reassigned that number since then. So I don't even say it no more because it's somebody's real phone number now. You say you still remember no one's coming without meeting the parent. Yep, you couldn't hang out. Like if your friend wanted to hang out with you and they come into your house to pick you up, they had to come to your door and talk to your parents. So your parents would know who you was hanging out with. You had to know where these people lived. It wasn't just you do whatever you want. Hey, Spicy Nurse, good morning, beautiful. You couldn't just do whatever you want. Society changed because parenting changed. And it's not because parents had all these things, because like I said before, my mother had me at 16. Now, my parents got married young. My parents got married by the time I was 2. Yeah. Once my mother turned 18, they made them get married. They made their punk ass get married. I meant to get that picture. I keep forgetting to get that picture. That picture's fucking hilarious. I gotta do that one thing. You said you knew your classmates' first, last, and middle names. Me too. Still to today, if any one of my people that I know from high school and their family and their parents pass on, I go to their funeral because I knew their parents just like I knew them. I ate their parents cooked for me when I would come over. I would eat their food. So you damn right I'm going to go show respect to your mama or your daddy if they pass on and they transition. Because shit, I used to eat their food. I used to come stay at their house. They used to let us sleep over. Never gave us no problems. Take us to rehearsals. Pick us up. Yep, still call them their full government name. I'm like, what? It was just so different then. Quiet as kept, it was like, I don't know, it just seems like we're regressing even further back before that. American society is regressing so bad. And I have these moments some days where I go, nah, I'm going to stay here in America because it's no way it can really just continue to get worse and worse. But then the more and more I look at things, I go, fuck this. If they want to erase to the bottom, let them fucking have it. Let them have it. I'll just go somewhere else, go to another country, and let them continue to race to the bottom in America. Ain't nothing there but poverty. That's the real Hunger Games. You think you're suffering now? Oh, you ain't seen suffering yet. See, suffering is when you have no social safety net. That was old school America. See, people forget America came up with food, the SNAP program, to supplement people's food and give them food assistance because Americans were going hungry. That's how those things came about. And they didn't come about for black people. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Because America wouldn't have created that shit for black people. You said you want to move to Burkina Faso. And listen, I feel you. The problem is it's so expensive to move. And America don't really want to let you out of here. They really don't want you to move. Because America doesn't give a fuck if you're happy. They just want your money and your fucking resources and your hard ass work and your labor. That's all it wants. It doesn't care about your suffering. Your suffering is a feature of the design, I keep telling y'all. It is a feature of the design. It is a feature of the design. And that's what's so unfortunate. It doesn't have to be this way. It don't have to be this way. But this is the way that they want it to be. Suffer, suffer, suffer. Because they want you to get to a point that you just go, fuck it. And I've seen some of you say, oh my goodness, I'm just getting so, I'm getting to a point. I don't think, no, you cannot give up. That's what they want you to do. That's why I told y'all, start getting that pantry together if you haven't already. So no matter what the hell those prices do, you good. Stock up on your flour. Stock up on your cornmeal. Stock up on all those things we talked about. Put them in your pantry. Those are things that are not going to spoil on you. Those are things that are going to last. Start growing vegetables. But you need to be less dependent on a functioning society. And that's the truth. Because America isn't functioning right now. It's a race to the bottom. And it's not going to change if you live in denial. You got to be honest about what the hell your country looks like. And ask yourself, especially if you have children, ask yourself this question. If you died tomorrow, would you feel comfortable leaving your children here? Do you think that this America would take care of them, make sure they're good? Or would it work really hard to take everything possible from them? Ask yourself that question. I don't think enough people think about what happens to my babies when I cease to exist. You want to create a world that once you dead and gone, because you gonna die one day, we all do. You want to create a world that when you're dead and gone, you can feel good and have comfort in knowing your children are going to be okay. That's not where we are. Yep, better garden in whatever space you have. I told you guys, garden in whatever space you have. You can even grow it's not hard to grow potatoes. Grow some potatoes. Grow some onions. Grow some kale, some collards. You understand? But you got to do something. Because rich people want everything. I showed y'all yesterday about how BlackRock is now working to own electricity companies. They want it all. They want everything. They don't want some of it. They want all of it. Period. They want all of it. And they've decided they're going to get it one way or another. I just don't know what it's going to take, America, for you to wake up and go, I'm tired of suffering like this. Think about your babies. What happens when you're no longer here? Are you okay with your babies being here? If you're not okay with that shit, what are you going to do to change this stuff for your babies? Yeah, the big data centers do want us to pay for the infrastructure, for the businesses to use. It's again, rich people want working class people to pay the cost for them to make money. Rich people don't really want to make their own investments anymore. They want to use your tax dollars for investments. And they want to keep all the profits. They want to use your tax dollars for investments, not have to pay the money back. Because that's just what they do. That's just what they do. Mike, I don't know who's ever paying you. They should have paid you to remember to put a P in front of that word. Poor little Ting Ting. Poor little Ting Ting. He was so upset. Look, y'all see, now I want to show y'all something. Look what Gavin Newsom put up. Before we get ready to go to some other stuff real quick. Look what Gavin Newsom put up. The man is still trolling y'all. The man is still trolling y'all. He says that it looks like he's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. I know Trump about sick of this fucking man, but I love it. I love it. Yeah, you can't see the whole thing because I didn't shorten it the way I should have. I should have shrunk it. I'll shrink it for later. But yeah, Gavin put this out. I was trying to let y'all see that Gavin Newsom's office put this out to say, thank you. I love every minute of this shit. This is some of the best shit ever. Hold up, but we're not done. We're not done. I showed y'all this one when we started with Gavin getting Him getting the Nobel Peace Prize and Trump in the back crying. Gavin just won't stop. What they say, can't stop, won't stop. Gavin is the definition of take that, take that. You understand? I love him too, Deed One. He is doing the shit. Gavin Hot Tops, $3.99.99. Yes, Russ. But hold up. I'm not done. Gavin's not done. Look at it. I'm about to show y'all something. Look, y'all. Look, y'all. Look, y'all. Gavin said, listen, if you want to play, I'll play too. They pray over me too. This is the type of energy you have to deal with MAGA. Yes, Rock, I agree. His media team is top tier. But Gavin Newsom, this is who Gavin Newsom is. He petty. You need to be petty to deal with somebody like Trump. Y'all notice, when they put out those Trump True Social posts now, he don't talk in all caps no more. Not the whole post. No. Because Gavin started doing the shit to expose that it's bullshit. So now he won't do it. Now he won't do it. But you know what about this picture that I found the best? These are all the presidents, right? Different presidents and stuff like that. Why they didn't put Trump in the picture? Gavin Newsom knows what he's doing. This is how you troll people. This is how you troll somebody, right? This is how you do it. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Thank you. I've been using all of these pictures to make black conservatives, because I do know like a couple from afar. Like when I say from afar, I mean just through the internet. Nothing more than that. I would never hang with them personally. And I've told them such, right? They think I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm not joking. I'm really serious when I say I would never hang with you in real life. Get out of here. Get out of here. But I use these pictures to troll black conservatives because they crash out because they don't know what to do. Like, should I say something? Should I not say something? Look at this. Look at Gavin. Look at him. The man has saved a kitten. He saved a kitten. You know? He saved a kitten. He must be president. This man is presidential material. This guy is presidential material. Look at those biceps. Look at those biceps. Okay? He's ripped, Zarvis, ripped. And because he's a little veiny, that means he's very vascular. Good circulation. Gavin should, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send Gavin Newsom's office a message and tell them they need to start selling Gavin Newsom trading cards, like the NFT cards like Trump did. Yep. Trump will crash out over that shit. Start saying you're going to sell NFT cards like Trump did. Do I live in California? No, I don't. Do you, Bernard? Not that I care. You only have 96 followers, so you shouldn't be in here anyway. Bye. Yeah, he thought with that troll account. Yeah, that wasn't going to work, beloved. That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. Yep, they should sell Gavin Newsom Bibles. They should sell that. I pick up my Soros check the same day Trump gets his ankles back. Bye. Hey. I love these clown shows too, Steve. I do too. Too bad you're not brave enough to post on your real account. Bye. Y'all, they crashing out. Why are they crashing out at all this manhood up here? They're upset because Gavin Newsom, that's the epitome of man. Look at it. Now that's a man. That's a man. That is a man. You know? That's a man. Hey, Nope, do you want to protect the kids or not? They so mad. He is so masculine, isn't he, Nessa Bessa? Gavin Newsom is America. Look, maybe I should, look, I might do a video about that today. They so upset. This is what an alpha male looks like, conservative America. That is an alpha male. Saving kittens and shit. America, fuck yeah. That's what that is. When I see this picture of Gavin Newsom, I just be like, yeah, America, yeah. That's how it makes me feel. I can't speak for y'all, but it makes me go, I love this country, yeah. That's how it makes me feel. You know, he is a star, Cap. Gavin Newsom is a star. I don't know why Trumpers don't like him. Me too, Kiki. I feel so much more patriotic now that Gavin Newsom is saving kittens while he's next to the American flag. It's telling you everything that's America. Muscles, manhood, cats, flags. That's all America. 305, I love how it makes MAGA feel. They are crying so fucking much right now. They are crying so much right now. They are crying so much right now. But what's new? They always crying. Now, I want to tell y'all about some other tears. Something that's going on that y'all need to know about. Oh, let me find my thing. Because it's something now about Oregon. Remember how we've been talking about Nebraska? Hold on. Let me, hold up. I want to show y'all something. Where's that? Because I want to show Gavin Newsom about the here we go. Look at him about to issue that liberty and justice. Now that's my favorite. I see him crashing out on Fox News, trying to make sense of Gavin Newsom's posts. But I go, y'all said it was just fine. What y'all mad about? What y'all mad about? Look at Gavin about to issue that liberty and justice. Look at him. And Melania like, I love liberty and justice. One liberty and justice for all I wanted. Man, now that says America, fuck yeah. That's what that says. That's what that says. Look at him looking at her. Hey girl, you want some of this socialism? Of course, I am a socialist. That's what he letting her know. He like, hey girl, I got all this socialism and I'm ready to give it away for free. You want some socialism? Listen, she said, look, I've been delivered. I don't chase men's no more. That's what Melania is going to say. That makes you want some America too, don't it? Man. Now, I got to tell y'all something. I got to tell you a couple things this morning as we're wrapping up this morning, because I know we're having fun, but y'all need to hear this. Because a couple of things. Because I'm sure nobody's really talking about it. I'm going to do a video on this today. Now, y'all know how we've been talking about that Epstein stuff? Don't forget Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Love you too, Grandma. Now, y'all remember, we talked about that Epstein stuff. Now, I need y'all to know something else that the Trump administration just did. But they're real quiet about it because they don't want you to talk about it. Then the Trump administration just intervened on behalf of Israel, right? To release an Israeli cybersecurity official. His name is Tom Alexandrovich, right? He was charged with crimes against children. I'll say it like that. And the Trump administration is asking, they basically put in something to give this man a safe passage to Israel. They say that it has been confirmed with officers involved in the sting that the Trump administration personally intervened at Israel's request to override U.S. law enforcement, including their own federal agents involved in the sting, to make sure that Alexandrovich got back to Israel quickly and safely. The officers told me they couldn't believe it. They had worked for weeks with the FBI, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Nevada Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force to run this sting. And they caught Alexandrovich red-handed. They booked him, charged him, and logged him into Henderson County system like every other suspect. And then, despite the Trump administration itself authorizing the sting, Trump's own team stepped in and changed it. They expedited his release and returned to Israel. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay attention. Newsom's going to be harder to beat than Kamala. Because Newsom's tapped into trolling him. Kamala didn't want to. Y'all, I told you there are no coincidences when it comes to this shit. There are no coincidences. So the fact that our federal government worked hard to get somebody like this back to Israel. Okay, y'all can keep thinking it's a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. I told you guys to check out Maribel's video on YouTube where she goes into that huge deep dive on the Epstein stuff. This shit goes deep. And it didn't stop because Epstein's not here anymore. See? It didn't stop. That's why I'm with, just like Gavin said, Russia, if you're listening, release those Epstein files. Release that shit. Release it. Yeah, Kamala was too fucking politically correct. She was trying to be like Joe Biden. And who was trying to be like Barack Obama. The problem is, Barack Obama was just a really good orator. So Barack didn't have to go low. Because he had ways to talk to people in very plain language to get them to see his point of view. Everybody don't have that charisma to do that. So you got to use what you got to get what you want. They didn't. Kamala didn't want to go in. You got to go in. She was trying to be too studious. Well, you can be a clown too. And I'm going to tell you why I know you can be a clown. America don't give a shit if you're a clown. We got a clown right now in White House. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care at all. Now, something that made me smile. They say Florida beach cities look like ghost towns. I got any Floridians in here? Yeah, they said Florida beach cities look like ghost towns amid slow summer season. Wow, who would have thought that trying to say that you were going to annex Canada and then pushing out immigrants and doing who would have thought that would lower and slow down tourism? Who would have thought? Right? See, only in the mind of an oppressor do you think that you can oppress people and they still want to hang out with you. Okay. Why the fuck would you go to Florida? Why would you go to Florida? Don't make sense to. They're saying down there, one lady says, spring break really never happened for us. And then the summer swing never happened for us. Good. Yep, and your governor is stealing. Good. You know who can't afford a vacation? See, Mandy? Canadians. They're just not coming here anymore. Canadians got money because their government ain't doing this stupid shit. Yeah, their government isn't charging them extra to exist. That's us. So Canadians are traveling to all these other places, but they ain't crossing the border to America. Why? Don't nobody want to get detained because somebody don't like you. Why would I want to come spend money in a country when that same country is talking about trying to take over my country? Man, get the fuck out of here. But they say nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. It's not happening. They're done. Oh yeah, winter's gonna be even worse. Winter's gonna be even worse. This is what they voted for. What did they say? I'm gonna show you. My opinion on this is this. Where it's at? Oh, I gotta find it. Not that. That's it. I feel no sorrow, no sympathy, no nothing, no compassion, no nothing. Yep, Canadians going to all these other places, but they're not coming to America. They don't need to. Yep, and Canadians have boycotted American products. Good, keep doing it. Keep doing it. They crushed the bourbon industry. They crushed the bourbon industry. Canada said, no, not here. What you not going to do is to pop that shit about us and then expect us to spend money on your stuff. We're not going to do any of that. Oh, you like that, Dad? Look, this is culturally inappropriate. It is. But you know what? All of this shit needs to happen. Yeah, I've been looking at Canada. Canada's fucking huge though. So now I've been on this thing of trying to understand the different provinces and the different areas because they have some differences. So you saw what I did there, Rob. So I'm looking all around. You say Victoria. See, everybody say something different. Depending on the Canadian you talk to, they say these different areas. But I hear that Canada's a great place, but the catch is finding the right province. That's the catch. And so I've got to, really dig. And this is the other thing. In the past, you could travel back and forth and get to know regions. Can I be honest to say I have concern about traveling back and forth over the border without our government acting a damn fool that I chose to travel back and forth across the border? That's the part that I don't like. Yeah, I hear about Vancouver, Toronto, and there's some other places that I've heard people, and some other small. See, I live in a pretty rural, quiet place, but I want to at least be able to get to what I call the city when I feel like it. I'm like 30-something miles from DC, right? So I would like that same sort of situation in Canada, where I can get to a major metropolitan city, but at the same time, I don't want to be in a major metropolitan city, if y'all can get where I'm coming from. You said Trump disasters and canceled FEMA. Yep, MAGA's going to starve. They're not going to stop blaming Biden. Again, but I keep going, if Joe is so sleepy, how the fuck does he keep fucking up their lives? Is Joe asleep or is Joe awake? Sleep, awake. Sleep, awake. Because to hear these people tell it, he's doing all these things. I'm like, is he asleep or is he awake? I told y'all, is he fucking Thor or is he asleep? They can never seem to answer the question. But that lets me know if Obama is still able to impact their lives, then he's a stronger president than Donald Trump. When they say that, I said, oh, so Obama's still stronger than Trump then. So then why'd you vote for Trump if Obama's running everything? See, when you frame it that way, they don't really know how to respond to that. Because the shit that they're saying already is bullshit. You get it? They're already popping bullshit. So when you start to expose them by saying the other stuff, they get quiet. Yeah, Obama was the best president we've ever had in my lifetime. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely, for when you talk about the economy, for jobs, for communities, I would say followed by Bill Clinton. When you're talking about our lives, working class people's lives, yeah, that was the second best president for us, was Bill Clinton. They're liberals, socialists. You know why? Because America really is a country of socialism. But you just have Republicans that try to convince you that that's not the case. But it's true. It is. Like yesterday, okay, remember I told you about Nebraska yesterday, right? Remember I told you about Nebraska. And Nebraska voted for Trump. Now, the governor of Nebraska is begging for money. He's saying Nebraska will not make it. And Nebraska is not going to make it because China has decided they canceled their $2 billion order on soybeans. They're also missing out on $15 billion in sales in its economy and another $350 million from its tax base. So now they're asking the federal government for money. That's a no for me, dog. Ain't that what Randy Jackson used to say? That's going to be a no for me, dog. They voted for this shit. No, you don't get none of our fucking money. That's socialism. Figure it out, Nebraska. Figure it the fuck out. I told y'all, I am waiting for the Chinese to come in and buy Nebraska like it's a going out of fucking business sale and force their asses to have to learn to speak Mandarin or Cantonese. Yep, no bailouts. This is what the hell they voted for. Tots and pears. I don't believe in rescuing them and saving them from themselves because that's what they want. They want to be saved from themselves. No. You wanted this. This is the life that you wanted. This is the life that you wanted. But now they're begging for government money. They're begging for government money. Trying to think who else. Also, did y'all see y'all? I got a couple more things I got to talk about this morning. Did y'all see the picture that Vivek Ramaswamy put up on X? I don't have an X account, but I'm able to see this stuff in other places. So him and his wife, they took their children during the 4th of July. They took their children to some place to celebrate for 4th of July, and they put the pictures up. This is why you can't tow water for white supremacy. So they put the pictures up, and people are outright telling them, you're not an American. Nebraska's offering to put an immigrant holding camp in Nebraska. Yeah, because they need money. The problem is Nebraska shouldn't offer that. Florida's in the hole because of the camp, because the feds haven't paid them for that either. Okay? So the people of Florida, your tax dollars are going for those things. The feds ain't giving Florida no money yet. They're using your state money for that shit. And then later on, when you need something, your state government gonna tell you they ain't got the money. Trump doesn't pay his bills. I don't know why people think just because it's government, they gonna pay you. They need that money for rich people. They can't get that to y'all. But Vivek Ramaswamy thought these are his people. Man, the way I can't even say the things that these people are saying to this man. I can't even say the things that the people are saying to this man and his wife and his children. But he wanted to be white so fucking bad. He wanted to pretend you're not one of them. They will let you tow water for them, though. And then once they get what they want, they remind you of who you are. Yep, though. Say it again, Rock. Indian Republicans, open your fucking eyes. You're not white. You're not white. And I know you didn't think you could come to America and pretend that you're better than black people when some of you are darker than us. I am telling you, those white people will pull the rug out from right up under you. Just like old Bobby Jindal. Your first name ain't Bobby, beloved. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Nikki Haley, stop the cap. Your name's Namrita. Lying and pretending to be somebody that you're not is not going to get them to respect you. Notice you don't even hear Nikki Haley ass talk no more. Notice you don't even hear her speak anymore. Same thing with Dean Cain. This is why I did that podcast post last week saying to immigrants, do not assimilate. Integrate. Do not assimilate. When you assimilate, You whitewash, you take away the very thing that makes you who you are. Which wall are you talking about, dude? Which wall is gnome painting? This is why I tell folks don't assimilate. It's because it's a way for you to forget who you are, and it's a way for the government or people in society to act like who you are doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Fuck that shit. Don't assimilate. Don't assimilate. Oh, she gonna paint the southern border wall black. So another way to waste our fucking money. That's what government is telling you then. If they're saying they're gonna paint the wall, so wait a minute. You didn't Trump didn't finish what he said he was gonna do before, and now y'all gonna waste money and paint it. But the wall is okay. That's the dumbest shit ever. But again, I'm not surprised. Where are those fucking Epstein files? They saying all of this other shit. Where are the Epstein files? So it heats up. Oh, now she believes in science. I thought they didn't believe in science. Hey, Sinopa. Hey, good morning, beautiful. Right. They got money to waste on painting the wall. But, okay. All right. That's why I keep saying, y'all think it's bad now. Wait till it get closer to the holidays. What Biggie Smalls used to say, if my youngin is starving, if it's between you and my youngin, oh, you losing every day. You losing every day. When it's between you and my youngin, you're going to lose every day. Because I'm going to do what I got to do to feed my baby. Y'all going to learn. That's all I can say to you. Y'all going to learn. You have to be willing to be indignant on this shit. You have to be willing to be unapologetic. This is why, you know, how some people say, I saw a conversation with D.L. Hughley this morning. Because the people from TMZ were talking to him. And they were saying, can't, you know, some people are changing their mind on Trump. Can you forgive them? And D.L. Hughley said, just like me, no. Oh, Walmart is shutting down stores. Ooh, let me research. He said no. He said because those people who changed their minds on Trump are only changing their minds because the Trump policies are impacting them. If that shit never impacted them, that would be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem. Oh, shit. Oh, y'all know I got to make a post about this today, right? Y'all know I have to make a post about this today, right? Oh, I love this. Because the fact that Walmart is closing stores, that also means a loss of jobs. So they're closing stores in these places after they've crushed mom and pop businesses. So they'll close the stores, and now those businesses that you used to be able to work for, you can't even work for no more. But I'm not surprised that Walmart has to shut down stores because a lot of their shit comes from China. They're reselling a lot of cheap Chinese shit in Walmart. They were. That's how they were able to do rock bottom prices. But with tariffs on Chinese goods, well, you can't offer rock bottom prices anymore, can you? It's basically a store full of cheap Chinese shit. They can't do that no more. They can't do that no more. I'm going to tell you who else probably going to go out of business. Five and Below. Yeah, Five and Below is not going to be able to make it. They're not going to be able to make it. One of the appeal, they buy that shit cheap and sell it cheap. It's no fucking way Five and Below is going to make it. And yes, they do have some stuff that costs more than $5, but they're not going to be able to make it. And eventually, Dollar Tree won't either. And I told y'all how Dollar Tree has changed their pricing. They're now $1.50, $2, $3, $4, $6, and $8. But they're not going to make it either. Yep, Dollar General, Family Dollar. Though none of these stores long term are going to make it. It's no way. It's no way. Wow, so it says they're closing stores in 6 states. Now, their fiscal revenue topped $681 billion. Their sales grew 4.6% last year. Their online sales soared 20% compared to 2024. But they still gonna close those stores. So they're making money. What did I tell y'all? I told you that they will fire your ass before they take a loss in profits. They see the writing on the wall. They want to keep the profits high. So they're gonna get rid of people. They're gonna close stores and get rid of folk. So they can keep their profits high. So they can keep the line going like this. I told y'all. And yep, and you're right, Zarvis. And then they'll beg the next administration for a bailout. No bailouts. No corporate welfare. No more corporate welfare. That's it. Trump is doing to the economy and to the country what he's done to his businesses. They know that he's filed bankruptcies multiple times, but you can't file bankruptcy on a country. My question is, what's going to happen when China say, run us our money? You owe us all this fucking money. Just give us our fucking money. We owe them a shitload of money. We're technically China's bitch. Even though we try to pretend we so tough, how the fuck you tough when you owe somebody money? Nobody, I'm not going to take you seriously. You owe me money. Run me my fucking money. Then you can play and be a big bully all you want to when you open them pockets and run me my cash. Run me my chips and dip. Yeah, bonds, you say about to go down, bonds been going down. And I told y'all the federal government borrowed $1 trillion more. They sold more stuff last month to get $1 trillion more. They're running out of money. Yes, the deficit has ballooned its highest ever under Trump in these last couple of months. This is Trump policies, Republican policies. And the Republican Congress who passed that budget bill said, we don't give a fuck about the deficit all of a sudden. But had it been a liberal in office, they would talk nothing but about the deficit. Jay, I would love to trade Nebraska for the debt, but we can't hardly get no money for them. China would say, it smells funny there. They say, we're not going to give you a lot of money for that. We're not giving you a lot of money for that. We'll give you a penny on the dollar for it. But you're not going to get full price for Nebraska, man. I wish we would. I wish we could. Oh, you want to see Gavin back on the screen issuing that freedom and liberty? Hold on. Let me go find him. He do look good with that washboard stomach, don't he? Don't he? Look, there you go. Look at him. About to issue that. Y'all know what they say. This is culturally inappropriate. It is, but I love every minute of that shit. I love every minute of it. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Gavin. Oh, thank you so much, MGD. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself today. We have a good time here. But we also keep the trolls out so we can have grown folk conversations. But this is crazy that Walmart's going to close all these stores. And they made all that money. So they had a successful fourth quarter, y'all. They said the store chain's Q4 revenue hit $180 billion. Plus, they have plans to open 100 brand new stores in other locations by the end of the year. But they're also going to be closing 10 stores in 6 different states this year. I'm trying to find the one that y'all telling me about. I'll find it at some point. Okay, I see. 1 day ago was an update on the story. Okay, because that other story is a little older. Because see, Walmart wants you to order more. They want you to order more. They don't want to keep those storefronts open. Those storefronts, yeah, it says that they started working on a project which includes the renovation and modernization of 650 stores in 47 states. But then they're going to close several stores. Yeah, I'm going to look into this today. Yeah, but Walmart's trying to get you to order more online. Yep, storefronts are overhead, and they don't want to pay the overhead ultimately. So they would rather close the stores to make and keep making money. but make you order the shit and get it delivered to you. No problem on creating that safe space. I just don't have a desire to feed trolls, and that's why I kick them out. I used to let them stay and then thought about it. The one thing that MAGA loves is attention, so I don't give it to them. They're closing low performance stores. The problem is Walmart built too many fucking stores. They oversaturated the market. That's the other problem. They threw up stores everywhere. And now they want to close them. It's like, well, but this is after you've destroyed all the moms and pops that were in these communities. Hold on. I see something. You say Days. Now, hold on. I have to read this because this shit's hilarious to me. Days says Days is feeling a little Christian-y. And wants me to put the picture back up when they're praying over Gavin. Sure. Let me find it. Look, let me go find that pic again when they're praying over our future president. Where is it? Look at them praying over him. Look. What they say? They're laying hands. I'll lay hands on Gavin too. But it won't be any prayer. Won't be no prayer. What they say? He might call God's name, but it won't be any prayer. What they say? Let the church say, Amen. Honey. That is a tall drink of water, beloved. That is a tall drink of water, beloved. Listen. Now, I'm going to also post a link in the Patreon today for with the Epstein stuff. I want, Maribel, I don't know if you're in here, but girl, because you keep doing these Epstein deep dives, is text from the Katie Johnson lawsuit where one of the victims sued Donald Trump and they had to have the depositions from back in the day. I want y'all to go read that stuff. Oh, Gavin is fine. I be looking at Gavin like, meet me in the trap. It's going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Stop playing with me. What my dude say? Shawty, you the shit. You the shit. Shawty, you the shit. Hey. I see you, Gavin. He looking mighty fine, okay? Looking mighty fine. That's why I be looking like, now that guy, look, Gavin ain't 6'3", 230 pounds. He might be, but even if he lied and said he was, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. To be honest, I wouldn't care. But I would love to be there to lay hands. Oh, yes, he does have a beautiful voice as well. He does smooches. He does. He does. Gavin is who Trump wishes he could be. That's why I keep leaning into the shit. Because I know that this pisses Trump off so bad. So I lean into it because I'm like, you know what? We should lean into this. We should lean into this. So I thank y'all for joining me today. I know we had a great time today. I'm glad that y'all had fun. I should have said, wait, did I save the picture? I saw a picture of Gavin Newsom and Barack Obama that looked like them Bahamas are wrestlers, but I don't think I saved it. Damn it. Okay, I'll have to find it. Yeah, I'll have to find it and put that one up because I forgot. I got one where he's also where Gavin is places him in cuffs. You make my day too hot, Toddy. I thank you all for joining me. I really, really do. I want you all to have a great and beautiful day. Don't forget to check out the Straight No Chaser podcast. A new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast is going to drop tonight. And tonight's new episode, I know that y'all are gonna love. Are gonna love this episode. Tonight's episode is called "The Church of Politics: How Faith and Power Got Married." Because you need to understand even more about how the church and your government are more and more they're closer and closer. I mean, before you know it, there'll be one entity and you won't even be able to tell the difference. You understand? That's why I need you to listen to that and share it to people. Share it with people who need to hear it, because that shit is real. Religion is a way to indoctrinate you and keep your ass in check and keep you from pushing back against the system. I am telling you. And when you start to see there ain't no difference between a political rally and a church revival. Yes, my leg is doing a lot better. Thank you so much, dude. When you see there's no difference between a political rally and a church revival, you'll start to look at it different. You'll see how people look at their politicians the same way they look at their pastor. That shit should bother you. It should bother you, because that's not normal. That's not normal. Check it out. That new episode drops tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? The link is in my bio. You can check it out on Patreon. For those of you who are already paid members of Patreon, and I have a free tier of Patreon too. Come over and check it out. But those in the circle tier and above, you got access starting last night. Come listen to it if you haven't already. I am telling you. I ain't got to lie to you. I just sit back and look at it and go, that shit is like church. I told y'all it's the people's temple of politics. I've been telling you from the beginning, Donald Trump and Jim Jones ain't much difference between Donald Trump, Jim Jones. Ain't much different between the Republican Party and ISIS. All that shit the same. All of it's the same. You understand? All of it is the same. And when you wake up and see that it's the exact same thing, you'll be better off for it. You'll be better off for it. I told you, you never had to worry about ISIS. ISIS was the big bad boogeyman. Crisis, the Christian right, was always the ones that were going to take your freedom and your liberty. Never ISIS. The Christian right is the ones that takes your ability away to marry who you want. Do what you want with your body. Now y'all know. Yep. And Research Project Esther, Dead Booney is telling y'all about it. I looked that up because that's another derivative of this conservative movement. They didn't just stop at Project 2025. They didn't just stop at Project 2025. I think I'm going to do a video on Project Esther too. Because a lot of people don't pay attention to that one. And that has its biblical roots too. It has its they tie everything back to religion. Okay? Everything is tied back to religion because religion is a means of control. And if you can keep people indoctrinated, you can keep them docile and you can keep them under control. Rock, I don't care if they make their own towns. Their towns are full of mediocre people. I don't give a shit. And those towns smell like hot bologna in a car. I don't care. And yes, this is culturally inappropriate. I know. I don't care. I really don't care. Because I'm good on that. Ain't no wash rags in that town. We know that. So I don't even worry about it. I'm like, move to whatever little towns you want to and be all clustered together. You know why I laughed though? When the guy did the interview with the media, he did the interview with the media for one reason only. They're still recruiting. Now, he claimed they had a wait list. Bullshit. You know why he's still recruiting? They don't like the women they have right now. I'm not lying. In my humble opinion, the men who run that compound, they don't like the women. I saw the women in the video. Those ain't the ones they want. They want the Margot Robbies of the world. You're not going to get a Margot Robbie, beloved. She don't want to come to that town. She's like, it smells like bologna over here. So they're not getting Margot Robbie, right? They gonna be stuck with whatever mediocre woman that they can get to come there. Because understand, your best and brightest are not gonna sign up to come to fucking there. You understand? They're not coming there. The ones coming there are the ones that those guys don't want. Yeah, like, yeah, Laura Loomer. You can have it. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. That's why Laura's single right now, because nobody wants that. She did all of that to placate conservative men. They don't want that. She look funny. And why does it still smell like bologna in here? That's why I laugh. Pearl's ass always talking about what women need to do. She ain't got no man. Laura Loomer ain't got no man. Now, according to Laura Loomer, Marjorie Taylor Greene be getting her man, and that's why Laura don't like her. You know, beach blonde, bad built butch body. That's still some of my favorite shit ever. That is still some of my favorite shit ever. If somebody said somebody's bad built beach blonde butch body, it wouldn't be a violation, would it? And to see when Jamie Raskin laughed, he was like, Jamie Raskin's a messy queen. A messy queen. He laughed his ass off in the video. You understand? And then Comer's like, what? What she say? What? Comer's a messy bitch too, because Comer heard her, because Comer was laughing. Comer was laughing. He heard it. He just tried to pretend he didn't hear it, but he heard it. No, Comer heard it. Go back and watch the video, Dead Booney. Guarantee you're going to see Comer laugh. Watch. He heard it. He just tried to pretend that he didn't. That's all. He just tried to pretend. He heard that shit. I love everything about it. That shit was the best. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, she had that 8 ass face after Jasmine said it. She was like, it was nothing she could say. What could she say? What could she say? Me personally, I did like what Jasmine said, but I would have been like, so if one of our, when are we really concerned about things? Because one of our congresswomen in here is built like a linebacker, but yet she want to talk about everybody else. Is that okay? Some of the ladies in here, when God was giving out necks, they got 2 of them. Is that okay? That's what I would have did. But I'm messy. I'm messy too. Like Jamie Raskin and James Comer's ass. Oh, she pronounced every word clearly and succinctly. Understand? She wanted to make it sure it was on the record. 500 years from now, somebody gonna look back on congressional records and gonna go, somebody said, if there's a bad built bleach blonde butch baddie. Wow. You know how they find old papers and stuff from back in the day, or when we read historical record of congressional meetings? That shit is going to be hilarious for future America to read that shit. Because then they're going to want to talk about it. So they're going to do news segments about it 500 years from now. So, Tom, what do you think that she meant when she said bad-built beach blonde butch body? What could that mean, Tom? You know, Sheila, I think she was saying that maybe that at the time, that elected official woman, she was built funny. Could it be that, Sheila? Tom, I think you're right. I think she was built funny. When you look back at the picture, she has very broad shoulders and a thick neck. So I think it was that. That's exactly what they're going to do. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Damn. If only I could be able to fly on the wall 500 years from now and hear the conversation. I'm telling you, it's like reading the Dead Sea Scrolls. Bad built, beach, blonde, butch body. Okay. Every time I see her, I think about it. It's not like it's something you can forget, you know? Now, as we get close to wrapping up this morning, I want to ask y'all, did y'all hear the audio of Trump talking about he's not sure if he's going to get into heaven? Did y'all hear that audio? Because I'll play it for y'all if you didn't hear it. Bruh said he's not sure he's going to get into heaven. Honey, I can tell you, you're not. Okay? You're not. All right? God going to have every bouncer at that door. He going to be like, flood the zone. Flood the zone. We hear him slowly walking up the stairs, trying to come to the stairway of heaven. Flood the zone. He's not allowed in here. Right. He don't believe in God anyway, so I don't understand why he talking about heaven, right? So, y'all, listen to this. Look, I agree. He was right one time. Look. Okay, hold on. Let me play it. Listen to this shit. This shit's hilarious. Listen.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
So he's thinking Ukraine-Russia war can get him to heaven. How you gonna get to heaven and you can't even get a Nobel Peace Prize? How you gonna get to heaven and you cheated on all your wives? How you gonna get to heaven like that? He cheated on all of them. You be lying all the time. How you gonna get to heaven? You worship false idols and you're greedy. How you gonna get to heaven? Proving he's never read the Bible. Or, and this is also the other thing, that conservatives, to them, a lot of the evangelicals, you get into heaven based on your money. It's the things that you've acquired on earth. That determines whether or not you're heaven bound. That's what it is. That's what it is. Conservatism, Christianity is all about what you can acquire. And that determines how much God loves you. That's that prosperity gospel shit. That's prosperity gospel. Moved on over to politics. Y'all see why I say it's so interconnected. Check out that episode tonight of the Straight No Chaser podcast. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trust me. When I connect the dots for you, you're going to go, damn, it is like church. Y'all. Dan Patrick in Texas right now trying to kick people out of the Texas chamber who will not stand for prayer. Ain't nobody got to stand for prayer. They have a right not to. A right not to. Yeah, Trump ain't never asked for forgiveness. When he say 2 Corinthians, and you're like, no one ever says it like that. You know what I mean? He's not religious. And neither are Republicans. They're tribalists. And that's different. Y'all need to understand the difference. But they're not the same thing. Okay? They're not the same thing. And for so long, people don't understand it. They just don't get it. But you need to understand they're not the same thing. At all. I thank you all for joining me. I got a lot of great content that's going to pop today because I'm about to go record some videos with all this stuff that's going to happen. So you should be seeing some stuff popping up pretty soon. I will be back here live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TikTok. Don't forget, if you want more of these unfiltered conversations, click the link in my bio and come check us out over on Patreon. This morning's live will be on YouTube shortly. The lives from yesterday are already on YouTube, yesterday morning and yesterday evening. I make sure to put them up every day for anybody who misses them. I thank you so much for joining me. Listen, we got 94,000 likes this morning. I appreciate it so much. We got 167 shares. We got so many comments and interactions. I thank you so much. I love all of you. I appreciate you coming here and spending time with me. I tell you, your most important commodity is your time. Once you earn it, you can't get time back. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What they say, tell your friends about me. All right? Don't forget the Blickety Block merchandise and other merch that I have is also in the link in my bio as well. I want to send a special shout out to my top 5 gifters. I want to say thank you to all of you. Of course, I don't have time to thank everybody individually in the live, but I thank you to each and every one of you. Because let me tell you, pennies equal dollars. So I appreciate everything. I don't look down at nothing. That I don't want these look, listen, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Because let me tell you something. I've been in a live. I've been in a couple lives where the creators are like, I don't want that. You better send me a galaxy. And that's when I scroll on. I love your time more than anything because your time is important to you. Thank you, Cassie. It all adds up. So I don't be listening to that bullshit. You know, I'm like, man, get out of here. You entitled. Work for your fucking money. Make content that people like. Then you ain't got to beg for money. That part, okay? Thank you all so much. I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters here in this live. I appreciate you so much. I really, really do. I appreciate all of you. But I love to send this shout out to my top 5 gifters. Number 1, beautiful, my dog is Charlie. Thank you, beautiful, for the gifts, and thank you for your moderation. I appreciate you. Number 2, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, Russ. Number 3, beautiful Lori. Lori, I got some more stuff I'm going to put in the group today that I found this morning. Girl, we are howling in that chat room in Patreon. Lori and I have a great time. We're not the only ones that post. Miss Thompson posting there. Come on over to the chat group too. We have a good time over there. Number 4, beautiful Stacy D. Number 5, beautiful Selfless. Hey, beautiful. I think this is your first time here because I don't remember your smile, but you're gorgeous. Thank you for joining. And then I want to send a special shout out to number 6, the beautiful, the Cassie B. Thank you all so much. I'll see you this afternoon live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, we got to 100,000. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Oh, look at somebody. He came in all late, all loud. Look at Democrats again, loving. Oh, my last block on the way out of here. All loud. Shut up, sir. Nobody want to listen to all of that. This is my America. We don't do DEI over here. No diversity, equity, and inclusion in thoughts, especially if it's true. I don't allow that here. Okay? I don't allow that here. All right? I love you guys. I'll see you live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to end this live the way I end all my stuff. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head. Don't feed the trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, you guys. I'll see you this afternoon. Love you. Bye-bye.